So road to the World Cup 2026 in Mexico, Canada, and USA. Africa is done with their qualifiers, and then the potential 10 slot for Africa, we have 9 teams that are qualified for the 2026 World Cup. The 9 teams being Egypt, Morocco, Cape Verde. They will be playing their first World Cup in the history of Cape Verde or Cabo Verde, which way you will call them, So Cape Verde is also there. Tunisia, we have Ivory Coast, South Africa, Senegal, Ghana, and then Algeria. So these are the 9 teams that has already qualified for the 2026 World Cup. Now, Africa has a potential 10 slots. And that 10 slots, there is going to be a playoff, 2 games. 2 games. If you would win the playoff, it means that you have to play 2 games for the playoff. And then from the playoff, you will go to the intercontinental playoff. So this is what is happening. Yesterday was the end of the, African World Cup qualifiers 2026. Now we are here to talk about Nigeria and their addition in the playoff that is going to happen, I think, somewhere around, next year, March. That is where the playoff is going to, begin. So this is what we are going to talk about. Nigeria has been included in the playoff, and we are here to explain to you into details. This is a detailed explanation of why Nigeria was able to make up to the playoff, round. So this is Kobo Sports Room. Click on the subscribe button, press the post notification bell. Nigeria is part of the playoffs. Nigeria miraculously has been able to qualify for the playoff that is going to happen in March. Now, let me explain. First of all, let's build it from somewhere. So, in every group, the World Cup qualifiers, in every group, there are 6, teams in every group, or 6 nations in every group. But Morocco's group was supposed to, include Eritrea. Now, Eritrea forfeited, and then they said they can't play the World Cup qualifiers. That is what Eritrea said, that they can't play the World Cup qualifiers. So they forfeited. So now, ideally, CAF is supposed to award 6 points plus 6 goals to every single team, but CAF didn't do it like that. And in March this year, CAF, communicated to all the teams that are playing in the World Cup qualifiers that this is how they are going to do it. Because Eritrea was supposed to be last in a group, if you get 6 points, or every point you are going to get against, the last person or the last team in each and every group, is not going to be counted, especially if we are picking the second best placed teams in the group. So that is what CAF communicated to all the nations. And obviously, it is not going to be fair to other teams. Because if Burkina Faso was playing, let's say, Namibia, or let's say Uganda, or let's say, any other team that was last, or Lesotho, any other team that was last in their group, they played the game. They traveled, spent money, played the game, and got their win. So you can't say because Eritrea didn't participate in the, World Cup qualifiers, it is going to affect each and every group. That is not fair. And they used a law or a rule in their, their CAF, rules that they were Act 1, this, that is what it says. No, bro, that is not fair. Eritrea was supposed to be in the Morocco group. They didn't play. They forfeited. Award the point. And if you award the point, at the end of the day, we play all the games, and then the second best placed teams, we determine who is the second best placed teams. And obviously, we are going to do it first, second, third, fourth, because the playoff is supposed to be 4 teams. So you do that, and then we go. But you don't just, do away with the point, the Eritrea 6 points plus 6 goals, and then it affects all the groups. That wouldn't be fair. You see, so Nigeria yesterday won by 4 goals to 0. They won by 4 goals to 0 against Benin, and Nigeria had 17 points. Now, here, the graphics on your screen says that Nigeria has 15 points. Let me explain. Nigeria has 15 points here instead of 17 because they drew home and away against Lesotho. And Lesotho was last in Nigeria's group. And that is how come Nigeria is having 15 points here, but 7 goals. And Burkina Faso had 21 points in their group. But because they got, 6 points from the last nation or the last country in the group, they were deducted 6 points from their points. And obviously they had 15, but their goals is 6 goals as compared to Nigeria 7. It wasn't fair to Burkina Faso. It wasn't fair to Niger. Niger also had 21 points. But Niger couldn't qualify because they also had 6 points against the last nation in the group. And this is what is happening. Now Nigeria has qualified for the playoff that is going to happen next year. It will be around early next year, around March thereabouts. And I expect Nigeria to qualify because, Congo is a very, very, very stubborn team. Go and ask Senegal what Congo did to them. Congo is a very, very, very stubborn team. But Nigeria is still Nigeria, and they have been given a lifeline by CAF. This is a calculated lifeline by CAF to get Nigeria to play in the World Cup, because in the previous edition of the World Cup, Nigeria couldn't qualify. And if we are going to represent Africa, well, obviously Nigeria has to be there, Cameroon has to be there, obviously. But in this case, Cameroon and Nigeria, potentially one of them is going to qualify for the World Cup. Now, if you participate and win the playoff in Africa, that is not done. It is not done yet. You are going to play intercontinental playoff, which includes, I think, 6 teams, 2 teams from CONCACAF, 1 team from CONMEBOL, 1 team from AFC, 1 team from Oceania, and then 1 team from Africa, making 6 teams. 6 teams, and it is going to be, the FIFA ranking. They are going to use the FIFA ranking to, rank them. 2 of them will step aside and 4 of them will participate in the playoff. So obviously Nigeria is, I think, 44th or 40th thereabout in the FIFA ranking. So they might have a higher FIFA ranking than the other teams that will be playing in the intercontinental playoff. So Nigeria obviously will step aside. They will be a seeded team. So Nigeria, if they are able to qualify from the, African playoffs, potentially they might get, the slot. They might get the World Cup slot. And this is a Kululu qualification. This is a Kululu qualification. It is not fair to Burkina Faso. It is not fair to teams like even Madagascar. It is not even fair to teams like Niger. Hugely, it is not fair against Niger and Burkina Faso because these guys fought so hard to get 6 points against the last team in their groups. And you are saying because Eritrea didn't participate, you are going to deduct them 6 points. That is not fair. And I am going to tell you, it is because it is Burkina Faso and Niger. And that is why CAF is doing this. And even this decision, I expect a country like Burkina Faso to take it to CAS. Take it to CAS and let's see if it will be ruled in your favor. Niger, I expect Niger to take it to CAF and let's see. They should, deliberate about the rule and let's see if something is going to come out. But I bet you if this was Morocco, CAF wouldn't have done that. If this was Ghana, CAF wouldn't have done that. If this was against Senegal, if this was against Ivory Coast, if this was against Algeria, CAF would dare not do something like that against these big dogs. Because it is Niger and then Burkina Faso. That is why CAF is doing that. I believe so. Nigeria has to be there. Cameroon also has to be there. But unfortunately, Nigeria and Cameroon, one of them potentially will be in the World Cup 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Kululu qualification for Nigeria. This is a Kululu. When we say Kululu, Kululu qualification for Nigeria. Drop all your comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this, situation at hand. Nigeria will be participating in the playoff. Let's see what Nigeria will do. But in my opinion, I think they will qualify. So ladies and gentlemen, this has been your update for you, CAF update for you, African update for you, Nigerian update for you. Thank you so much for your time. Click on the subscribe button. Take care of yourselves and peace.